Hey guys, this is Hbkgrand from the Dark Shinobis making a video about an Archwing today. So a lot of people were asking for Archwings, so there's a lot of videos pending, but today I wanted to start a video finally for the Archwing. So the two best Archwings in my opinion are either the Itzal or the Ameesha. But I am going to start with Amesha first. There will be videos for the weapons as well. So coming back to the topic, why we're picking up Amesha, the reason behind it is the best Archwing for people who are like lower level players or average players or even veteran players, because a lot of people have difficulty while they're in the Archwing missions. So why I picked Archwing Amesha is because it helps you survive the longest, and it has the ability to like basically you can be invulnerable for the entire time. So it is a pretty awesome Archwing to have. Itzal is awesome in its own right, but we're gonna start off with Amesha. The Amesha is important because of various reasons, as you'll see in the builds and all that kind of stuff. But before we get to that, I just want to show you guys what the Archwing like a mod for the Archwing would be required if you're using a Warframe. So any Warframe which has a negative polarity, what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna put corrosive projection in there. The reason behind putting corrosive projection is that it reduces the enemy's armor by -30%, and this actually helps in the Archwing. It applies. So apart from everything else, the aura mod for the Warframe, it actually helps. Some people actually go put looter on there, so the loot detector, so it actually helps them a lot in the space. So because a lot of times like you don't have like a thieves wait or a sentinel with you, so you can't see the loot, but having a loot detector on your Warframe can actually help you see. So that's like one thing. Or you could have the enemy radar, but in my opinion, honestly, like loot detector or corrosive projection are the two best. So either pick corrosive projection, which would be my first choice, but if you are going to like farm for like opening boxes and whatnot, so like then you can use the loot detector, but the best one is a corrosive projection. So moving on, you guys will see the build. Now I am making a video about Amesha. So as I was saying, which Archwing that I'm going to be showing, it's basically Amesha. You can get this from the dojo. So if you have a dojo, if you have a clan, Amesha is available in there. I will be making a video about Itzal, but this I start off with something that like every player should have. So Itzal is a priority for almost like every single player because it's a really fast Archwing and whatnot. But in my opinion, if you're a starting person, even if you're like an average Archwing player, because a lot of people have struggles going into Archwing missions and whatnot, Amesha can always help you survive. So I will show you the build first, and then I'll talk about the abilities afterwards. So for the builds, basically it's like a one forma build. So that's all you have to do. Like that's like the best you could put in there. If you want to change it a little bit, like putting some energy inversion, which is like right here, the shield capacity, that's completely up to your decision. But honestly, like I don't really see the need of it. So but if you do, you could just put like, there's only like 2 or 3 mods like you could differentiate. Other than that, like basically everybody will have the same type of setup because there's not a lot of mods, and I will show you that in the codex after this as well. So first of all, we have the enhanced durability, which gives you about 150% health. You can get this mod from like Cetus or any of the Archwing missions. It's really easy to get. Then we have the efficient transferal, which is like giving you plus 30% ability duration. You can get this from Phobos Kepler or Saturn Pandora. Apart from that, they can drop in higher level missions on the Neptune as well, so it could happen anywhere. Then you have the Prime Morphic Transformer. This actually came from the Burakatir, but if you don't have the Prime Morphic Transformer and you have the regular one, the Gold Morphic Transformer, you could actually get that from Venus or Mars Archwing missions. So that's not that hard to get either. Then we have the system reroute, which gives you plus 45 ability efficiency, which you should have on almost all your Archwings, because you're going to be spamming more abilities than trying to kill the enemies with your weapons, because I find it that like using the Archwing ability is more useful, and the most usefuls are actually Ameesha and Itzel. So the system reroute you can get from Phobos Archwing missions, basically any missions on Phobos. You can also get all these mods. If I say Phobos, any mission above in a higher level, all those enemies spawn there as well, so they drop these mods as well. But like particularly like when you finish a Phobos mission, how they have done this setup now is basically when you finish a mission, there's a chance you can get an Archwing mod, so it's a lot easier. So you can get them through doing the mission, or you can have a chance of getting that at the end of the mission as a reward. Then we have the Argon Plating, a really common mod, and basically it gives you plus 90% armor. You can get that from Uranus, Callus, or any of the missions basically these days. You can even get that from killing enemies on the Cetus. So it's pretty easy, common these days to get that. Then we have the Energy Amplifier, which gives you plus 60 ability range, which is kind of important because you're looking for ability range, and that's what that is basically. You could get it from transmutation, you can get it from killing like Lancer Drags or like Shield Hellions Darragon. So those are like the floating enemies with like shields around them and whatnot, so you could kill them. You can even get this maybe from the Cetus by killing those flying Archwing enemies. Then we have the superior defenses, which plus 100% shield recharge. It is you could get this basically from any mission. Like these are like some of them are like the common drops, and this is one of the common drops as well. Then we have the auxiliary power, which gives you energy max. You can get this through transmutation, or you can get it from killing again the shield Darragons. Now I'll show you guys the ability for the Amesha, like the build that you just guys saw. So basically when you press R2, you're gonna actually see the abilities. So over here it has no passive ability. So like I emphasize on Warframes, like pay attention to the passive abilities because they can help you out. Over here, as you see, that there's no passive ability, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now, coming to the 4 abilities of Ameesha, like why I say this is like the best survivable Archwing in the missions for the Archwing, especially for the average or lower level players who have difficult times doing that, it's because of these abilities. So first we're going to start with the first ability, which is the Watchful Swarm. It basically, you get like tiny drones around you protecting you from the enemies. So any enemy fire that comes your way. And with the build that I just showed you guys, if you see the energy cast, it's about 14 energy per cast, and you can get about 22 drones. So you'll actually see like a number, and then once it goes down, then you can recast it. But in all honesty, you don't need this ability most of the time. Why? It's because of the second ability. The second ability is basically the Benevolent Decoy. What this does is it creates like a beacon, and it's kind of like a bubble where all the enemies will be shooting at its core. So anybody inside that bubble and all the enemies that are damaging the core, their damage will actually be amplified as a health bonus, and it will give all the people that are inside it, all the allies. And this works perfectly with anything, like for example, if you're doing a mobile defense and whatnot, and you put the bubble close to it and it's inside the bubble, it will actually heal the mobile defense as well, which a lot of people didn't know in the beginning. Neither did I after we did this. So this can actually help you out as well. The bubble radius with the build that I showed you guys is 120. The duration goes for 32 seconds, which is more than enough. And because you could recast it after that, and the damage multiplier actually increases while you're in there as well. And why I will say that is because of the 4th ability, which we will get to later. And the heal radius, anybody within the 160 meter range will actually be healing. So that's like a big bubble. The third ability is the Warding Grace. What happens is that the renders the Warframe and nearby allies immune to status effects while slowing nearby enemies. So when you cast this ability, anybody like within the radius of like 640, which is huge, it's kind of like slow Nova type thing. So they actually get slowed, whereas you take like less status effects. So like basically if an enemy attacks you and you get like slasher damage on you or something like that, or corrosive or puncture or something like that, you're going to take less effect. So you basically kind of like become immune at all, so like as long as you're in that bubble. So that's kind of like awesome, but it does require like energy per second. The casting is like only 14, but 4.23 seconds energy per second is used every time you cast this ability. Now we have the fourth ability, which is the Vengeful Rush. All damage taken is transformed into energy, while abilities gain enhanced range, duration, and power. Affects the Warframe and nearby allies. Now when you use this fourth ability, it can amplify your first ability, it can amplify your second ability, it can amplify your third ability. So it actually amplifies all of them. So if you have, for instance, you go use Vengeful Rush and then you use the Benevolent Decoy, you're looking at somewhere about a minute of Benevolent Decoy over there. So it kind of like helps you survive a little bit longer. Usually like the mobile defense mission, which is the highest one, the Neptune one, which I'll show you guys after this, doing that, basically you could easily do them even solo if you wanted. So it's just that like even if you're like a lower weapon you got lower level weapons, don't have like a lot of strength in them and whatnot, having these abilities unlocked, you can actually aim to get everything out. So that's why like the Vengeful Rush would be most important, but the Benevolent Decoy, if you do not have enough energy, for example, let's just say you could cast the Benevolent Decoy, get your health up, because like your main concern is usually health when you're doing that, and it can actually protect you from, like if you're protecting something, it will give health to that as well. Apart from that, that's pretty much it for these abilities, but you could use the fourth one to get the use of the second ability. So that's why I recommend all the new level players to get that, because it is really important. So like I did explain the builds in the build, like where you can get the stuff from. So what I'm gonna show you guys here is like it's like a tip if you guys want to know about this. And if you go to the codex, you can go to the universe and you can go to the mod section, and you'll see all the mods pop up over here. So over here you can press R1 whatnot, and you'll see all the Archwing missions. So as you can see, my build, anybody's build, they can only rotate around these things. I don't have kinetic diversion, but it really is not needed for the Ameesha build. But over here, as you guys can see, like these are the only mods that you will need. So there's actually like how we have to be worrying about like, oh, what to do with the Warframe builds. Like there's so many things that you could do with the Warframe builds, but here it's like it's just like a couple of mods, so you can't actually go like everybody will have a similar type of build for it. So you could do that over here. That will be the same for the Arch guns, the Arch melee, and all that kind of stuff. So it's not that difficult. Now, where to get the Amesha? I'll show you guys. You gotta go to your dojo. So as you go to your dojo, once you're at the dojo, you're gonna go to the Tenno lab, and in the Tenno lab, let me sort by names so it'll make it easier. So you got the Amesha harness over here. This thing will require credits, nitin extracts, circuits, polymer bundles, alloy plate. Then you got the BP, which obviously you will need for the rest of the parts. And then we have the Amesha systems, which will require credits, control modules, nitin extract, salvage, circuits. Then we have the wings, which will require credits, alloy plate, new rods, polymer bundle, and nitin extract. So all in all, like basically you will need like a couple of nitin extracts and other common resources that you can get from doing the missions. And that, like if you're like level 5 and 10, like if somewhere there, it's easy to get these resources, whereas the nighttime extract you will have to probably wait and every like, because there's like 4 every 24 hours or something like that. So like in 24 hours you're only gonna get nighttime extract like 4 times or something. So, but apart from that, it's not that hard to build. You can build it in like a 2 or 3 days tops. So once you have that, we're gonna go back to the ship. Now we're gonna do a solo Archwing mission, and the highest one right here, if you guys can see, is Cilicia, which is level 27 to 32 mobile defense, and we're just gonna do it solo. So this is by far like the best XP method as well. So if you have a team of 4, you're gonna get more XP than usual. So it is better if you do it this way. So just make sure when you're doing that, you do it through. If you have a team, if you have people who are gonna be carrying you or something like that, anything of that sort, you can actually do it from here. So we're gonna just go, and as you guys can see, like right now, I haven't dropped any energy plates, but we're gonna start off, because there is somewhat of energy. So I will share the Fluctus build with you guys, but I just want to show you guys to do this. So you guys are gonna see. So if I start this, you're gonna see I just stopped taking any damage and all the enemies are attacking that bubble right there, and you can actually just take them off one by one. And anything inside it, you'll see like nothing is damaging the, if you see my health, it's actually not going down because everything is attacking that. Now if I add the 4th ability to the mix and then add the 3rd ability to the mix, you'll see what's going on over there. I'm basically immune to every single thing. So if you want to do this way, basically you can literally like survive the entire thing. Now my Amesha is gone, my benevolent decoy I mean, so as you can see, I could pull that up again, and you can literally stay invisible for like a really long time. So until my 4th ability is dissipating, my 3rd ability is kind of like active. So that's like the trick behind it as well. You could stay like invulnerable for like almost like 39 seconds in a way. So watch again what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the 4th ability, and then I'm gonna use the 3rd ability as well. So like the 4th ability, so for 34 seconds you're kind of like invulnerable, and you won't take any damage whatsoever. And basically this I did solo. Like a lot of people have difficulties doing it. Like I'm not gonna kill all the enemies, but I just want to show that like this is what you can do. That is pretty much it. And with just one mission, we almost got like 4 mods. Like, well, we don't need the Afterburner, which is for the Electron, but we got the Rubido line, we got the Superior Defenses, we got the Sudden Impact. So you can get mods easily with just finishing these missions, like easily. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys have any questions, any comments about Archwings, I will be making a video about the weapon as well, and then it's all, you will be seeing that in the future as well. So if you guys have any questions and comments, once again, you can leave it in the comment section below. Make sure to sub, like, and share with your communities, and we're growing really fast, and I appreciate all the support that you guys are showing me. And if there's anything that you guys need to know about it, just let me know. There are a couple of videos in line, and we will get those done as soon as possible, and we will present it to you guys. So this is Hbkgrand signing out. Have a great one, guys. Take it easy.